Sesame Street, it's always been about learning. Well, a little Muppet girl is creating a video sensation with a song that has an important message for young black girls. It's called I Love My Hair. Here's a sample.
Don't need a trip to the beauty shop, 'cause I love what I got on the top. It's curly and it's brown and it's right up there. You know what I love, that's right. My hair, I really love my hair.
Joey Mazzarino is the man behind the song. He's Sesame Street's head writer, also a Muppeteer, and the father of an adopted daughter from Ethiopia. Great to see you this morning.
Thank you, John.
Thanks
it's great
for
to
being
be here.
here.
Thank you,
We should say it was your daughter and what you saw with her that inspired you to do all of this. Give us the backstory.
Well, my daughter, first of all, was my little muse since she's been home. Like, a lot of the stories came from my daughter's life. So if she was playing robots with her friends, I would write the characters being robots. But I noticed about when she was 4, she started to sort of have a problem with her hair and want to have princess hair and have straight hair and have blonde hair. And I started to think, oh, geez, this is maybe a unique problem to us because we're white parents with an African-American daughter. And then Chris Rock's film came out, Good Hair, and we said, oh, wow, this is actually a broader issue. And we had finished writing for the season, and I said to my executive producer, hey, can I just try and write this song real quick and we'll slip it in the schedule somewhere? She said, go for it. And I hooked up with Chris Jackson, this amazing composer, and we came up with it. And it's all stuff that I sort of tell my daughter before I wrote the song.
And the interesting thing is it really has resonated. It struck a chord, 400,000 views.
It's been crazy.
There's now, you know, Will Smith's daughter. She actually,
I know, the mashup.
Yeah, she did a mashup of it, Whip My Hair, which is also extremely popular right now. Are you surprised at how many people said, finally, someone's touching on this?
I'm surprised, yeah, I'm surprised at how it's resonated with not just kids, but with adult women, with African-American women, which is great. And I feel like, wow, with the internet, it reaches such a broader audience than if it was just on the show. So It's been amazing, and the responses have been awesome.
So tell me about your experience with your daughter's hair. I mean, every dad does their daughter's hair. I did. Were you able to, or were you all thumbs with it?
It freaked me out at first because so many people said, oh, you know, curly hair, taking care of African-American hair is hard. And I said, well, luckily I work with this guy, Gordon Price, whose wife is Lisa Price, and she founded Carol's daughter. So they hooked me up with a bunch of stuff, and they were like, okay, you do this and you do this. And I was like, okay. But my wife really handled it. And my wife's an actress, and she was away for a summer, and I was like, oh, God, I'm in charge every day of doing her hair. So I was like, all right, honey, and the babysitter, I was like, show me how to do it, okay? I want to be able to do it right, because I don't want my daughter going out with wild hair, because Daddy doesn't know what he's doing. And I can do, like, puffs. I can do some braids. I'm getting better.
So was it your experience that led her to look at her Barbie doll and say, this is how I want my hair?
No, it wasn't me. I can't blame me for that. Yeah, it's, you know, but it's seriously, with the toys, I mean, between Barbies and American Girls, they have African-American dolls, but it's very rare that you find dolls with hair that's curly. And there's like one store you go in and it's like, make your own doll that looks like you. And it's like, you know what, my daughter can.
You know, it's funny though. I mean, to broaden it out, no one's going to have Barbie hair. I mean, even these days, I mean, people are with the extensions and everybody has to dye their hair. I mean, it is interesting that, I mean, you've tapped into that whole notion that whatever you have isn't quite good enough.
I know.
If your hair is naturally curly, you want it straight. If your hair is naturally straight, you want it curly. And especially now with the first daughters, Sasha and Malia, in the White House. I mean, is that helping change attitudes?
I think it does. I think anytime you see images in the media that are positive and you look at, you see yourself, anytime you see yourself and you go, oh, I'm beautiful the way I am, it's great.
So if your daughter comes to you a couple of years from now and says, Daddy, I really want to get my hair relaxed, what would you say?
You know, I don't know. When that, it's like when she comes and says she wants a belly button ring, what do I say? I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day, John. I don't know.
Well, it really is a great message that you're getting out there. Has it resonated with your daughter?
It has. You know what? Like, we shot it at the end of last year, and I brought it home immediately. It wasn't even edited, and I threw it into my computer, and she was dancing around, and she loved it. And I can't say it's all because of the video, because she's also had a wonderful teacher, Miss Jackson, last year, who was this really strong African-American woman. And she's starting to really love her hair. The other day, in fact, yesterday, she was bouncing around in the mirror,